All right, guys, welcome back to the Mega Farm. As you guys can see, it is now May, and you know what that means? It is time to get soybeans put in the ground. First, there's a couple things I do need to get done this morning. I think, if I remember right, the neighbor, Jerry, if you guys remember him, he's kind of, I don't know exactly where he is at right now, but I gotta grab a couple things out of here real quick. So, there was a issue with one of the pivots that we had, so I got to check that out real quick. So I'm going to take this box and a couple other things, put them in the back of my pickup real quick, and then I'm going to be heading to the pivot point to see exactly what was going on. Pretty sure, so this box has some wheel gears in it, and then I do need to grab some gear oil as well as my little toolbox that we have right here. Where did I put the, oh, there it is right there. It's in the back of the pickup, and then I'm going to run inside real quick, grab that toolbox, and we're going to head into the center point. Alright, so here we are. We are currently on the one quarter that is just right across the road from the home place of the farm. I kind of want to come up with names for all these quarters like they kind of do in real life. Like, I would go around saying, like, this one's K1, and we have, like, K2, K3, K4, or if, like, I want to go through and come up with, like, a different name, like this is Shannon's quarters, or I don't know what I want to do exactly. But what we had going on is this wheel gear here went out. Surprisingly, I don't know how or why. It just looked like it hadn't been maintenance in a while. It had some really bad wheel gear grease inside of it. We just had to go through and replace it. So I have the new one on here currently. The old one is back in this box. And then obviously I put new grease inside of the wheel, or the inside of the wheel gear, and we should be good. I'm going to get all this stuff packed up, but before I do, I'm going to run over here to the center point of the pivot real quick, and I'm going to start this thing up and kind of move it. I think we'll put it in reverse, I guess. We'll put it in reverse right now to see exactly where we are. We run down here, we should be able to see it moving, which it looks like it is moving right now. So I think we got the problem fixed. So before it gets running too far out of line, we are going to go put it back to where it was before, and we should be good here. Alright, so right now we're currently here in the field. Right now I have the seed tender going here and loading up my DB90 planter right here that is hooked up to the 9410R with triples on it. So in the last video, if you guys remember, I was going through and I was using the 420 Steiger for a vast majority of the video that I did last time. And as promised, you know, I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between the John Deere as well as the Case. And I think Jerry, I don't know exactly where he is. I'm going to run over here and like kind of just stand over here at the end of this pivot, and he should be coming up here soon. I think, yeah, there he is. You can kind of see him way over there off in the distance. He just got started probably about, I would say about 45 minutes ago. He's been going pretty good. I am going to have to move this pivot out of his way eventually, because he's going to have to get on the other side of this, and I don't know if he's got the man. I don't know. He probably doesn't have the brain power to be able to operate that. He's probably going to end up taking out the pivot, trying to turn around and do a lot of stuff. Yep, he just did. All right, well, I'm going to pretend I did not see that, and I'm going to start getting going on my end rows over here. But I just want to say that size comparison to the compared to the 420 Steiger over there. So we have the triples on here for less ground compaction, but we also do have a full rack of weights. So I mean, we got a lot of weight going down on the ground here. But this thing is just a massive machine that we are going to be pulling around here today. And hopefully I got myself a lot of seed to run here, because we are looking at planting just about 200 acres of soybeans today. Right now, the one field that Jerry is currently struggling on is sitting at about, I think it was 110 acres, because that's about, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm working on about 70 acres right here, and then I have another 70 that's over there that I also got to get done as well. But I think Jerry needs our help, so I'm gonna get this all lined up, and I'm probably just gonna have to run over there and give him a hand. I don't think he's gonna be able to figure it out by himself. Come on, Jerry. What the heck, man? Yeah, I think Jerry should be fired after this one. I don't know. Come on, Jerry. Like, pivot's disconnected and everything. Come on now, man. The one tower of the pivot just sitting on the hood of the tractor. I don't know what Jerry was really thinking, trying to go through here and do this for himself. But we're gonna get him all restarted. Actually, probably gonna call my neighbor Tim in. I think Jerry's fired for today, so we're gonna get Tim in here, and I'm not much better than Jerry, but hey. So just a few things to add. So I just got done doing the end rows, and I'm now just making my first pass through the middle of the field. I'm currently going at like a 10-degree angle, and this is going to be a Midwest Ag fun farm fact of the day for you guys. If you guys can answer this one before I have a chance to give you guys the answer, then hey, you guys are probably 20 times smarter than most people out there. But if you guys can tell me what the reason behind me going at an angle of planting these soybeans, then hey, you guys get a high five. That's all I got to give you. But the reason that you plant soybeans at an angle generally is because when you go through with your draper head or flex draper or your normal bean head, the reason you do that is because the sickle forks that are going in between on the header, it helps them or gives them a chance to cut evenly and not have bunching up going on inside the head, so that way you're able to go at a better pace and go at a better speed. But if you guys were able to get that question, then hey, you guys are pretty smart. But another thing to add here is that from just being able to do the end rows and then doing my first pass here, I am seeing a humongous difference between this tractor and then the 420 Stagger. But I'm just going to say that it's because I got triples on here, so I have a little bit more balance, a little bit more stability going on here, going through the field. But I will say that I do like this a lot, and it does move really, really nice and really steadily. But of course, I can't be biased completely yet. It's still too early. So in order to 100% make my opinion set in stone on which tractor I want to run constantly and make the farm either red or green, I will have to, wait till next season when it comes to planning, or find something that I'm going to be doing with my Steiger and add triples to it and see exactly where we're going to be sitting. Because I can't make my decision too early on, because I've only used the tractors twice now. And if I make my decision too soon, then what if I make the wrong decision? And also another thing I did notice about this map, and I just came to realize it when I was going through and actually doing the end rows, because I was seeing that my variable seed rate up in the top was like at the max, and I didn't know exactly why it was up there. So if I bring up my map here real quick, I think I should be able to drive in a straight line, because I mean, this deer's been doing pretty good at driving in a straight line. So we're just gonna let it drive its little course. I got auto steer going on right now, so should be pretty good. We aren't going off track or anything, so I'm gonna pull up the map real quick. So if you guys look at the field that I'm doing, you can kind of see me moving through the field pretty slowly right now. I'm going about 9 miles per hour, but I'm on field 8 here. And around the outside edge of the field, or the end rows, is a different soil type all the way around. So no matter what I do in this field, I'm always going to have a worse yield on my end rows, which is extremely accurate to actual real farming, which I think is a really cool thing that Antler 22 did do on this map. So I think that is pretty interesting, but it just really confused me until I pulled up my precision farming page here and actually looked at the soil map. But on all fields, well, at least the ones that I have bought, and then I noticed that these ones were all bought down here, but I didn't pay for them. They were already there, so I didn't do that. But every field on the end rows has loamy sand going around the outside edge of it. I just put my map down, and we are off 0.3 of a degree from where I left it off, and we were on that page for probably a solid 30 seconds. So honestly, there we go. There's +1 point there for John Deere. And because Jerry crashed the Steiger into the pivot, we are sitting at -1 right there for the Steiger. But I still got high hopes for the Steiger. Cruising right along, and we'll try to move my field of view, my camera angle here for a second, so you guys see. So down at the bottom, I am sitting around about 4 bushels left in my tanks here on the planter, and we're just scooting right along. I also forgot to mention that Jerry is currently taking he's absent without pay from work for a little while until he can kind of redeem himself for kind of running into the pivot. Even though I did it, but you do as I say, not as I do. It's kind of how it's gonna work. So right now I have the neighbor Mike. He's been trucking along. I think he's pretty close to being done with the little piece over here. So I'm gonna get the planter filled up, run over, get this pivot moving out of the way for him, so that way he is able to finish this little area over here. And by the time he probably gets done, I should be 3/4, most of the way done here. and I think he should be good for the day. Let's see what we can do here. So we are going to start it up. If I remember right, is 150, 75, 10, and it should be counterclockwise. So if I move it 10%, it should start going counterclockwise really fast for some reason, but probably because Jerry ran in the pivot, it just doesn't do it anymore. We're gonna get this shut down, have that move more than 10% out of the way, and hopefully Mike can come in here and get that little bit done. Alright guys, so we are just about finished up with this field, probably sitting at maybe just about one more pass, maybe 1.5 more left to go. I just got done refilling up the tanks in here with some more seeds, and after I get done finishing up with this, we're going to move on to the next field. And then after I complete today, so since it's still somewhat early, we're sitting almost about 2:40, almost 3 o'clock, and I got to get running to the co-op. I got to pick up some fertilizer. Sorry, scratch that. I got to pick up some herbicide because I don't know if you guys noticed, but while I was going through and checking my pivots and getting pivots moving in those cornfields that we had planted earlier, got a lot of weeds growing in there. So I got to get myself prepared, get some herbicide spread to get rid of them weeds, so that way we ain't got nothing to worry about in the future. So that way we're not plugging up combines, slowing our harvest time down for this season. So we got to get that ready. But I will see you guys when we get this last field finished.
She told me I've been cheating on her in her dream. Lord, it wasn't a thing I could do or say to change her mind any way. She told me that things was gonna change if I wanted her. I couldn't stay the same, so I stopped going out on Friday nights. I stopped drinking with the boys. Yeah, everything she asked I left in the past, just to try to bring her joy. For the record, it can't be understated, all I've been domesticated. She told me to top off her Jeep, the one I bought her when I sold my old GT. And I bumped in to my good friend, and he asked me where the hell had I been. So I told him what she told me. If I didn't change, she was gonna leave. So I stopped going down on Friday nights. I stopped drinking with the boys. Everything she asked I left in the past, just to try to bring her joy. For the record, it can't be understated, I'm domesticated. But when
Alright guys, so right now we are currently sitting here at the co-op with the amazing day cap Peterbilt right here. When we get back to the farm, we are going to make sure that we get the pumps and everything put back up on this trailer we got here. So right now, so this is the co-op. This is where we can get seed from. We can also get, I'm pretty sure, dry applicant, and I think at some point, I don't know exactly where it is or if this is not the right co-op for it, but I know there is a co-op here somewhere on this map that does have anhydrous, but we're gonna see what we can get for herbicide for right now. I didn't have exactly that much money in the bank, but hopefully we can get most of these tanks filled up before we run out of money. And then when we get back to the farm, we'll have to get a plan to get the pump on here, so that way we can start transferring it. Alright guys, so now we're back. I just got done bringing the 6.7 Power Stroke over with the seed tender. Got that out of the field. I did leave the 7.3 over there, so I do need to go get that here in a little bit. But the planting season now is officially come to an end. We are now completed with planting soybeans, corn. Right now we're going to be heading into irrigating season and getting herbicides, pesticides, and fertilizer spread on all of our crops. here in the future. But that's all for another video. For right now, I got a lot of repair, maintenance, cleaning that I got to do on the equipment, planters, tractors. I think I'm going to add triples onto the Steiger over here because I just can't let that one fall behind on this John Deere for right now. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Hope you guys come in for another one. And if you guys did like this video, please don't forget to smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.